Today I fucked up by sitting on the wrong sofa and making people think that I was an escort. It actually happened around a year ago before all the current lockdowns started. In my country brothels are legal, you can go choose any girl you want and have sex for money. About a year ago me, male, and two other friends, both males, decided to meet up for a few beers, and a few beers turned into binge drinking. After we got drunk we felt so horny and decided to go to the brothel for some sex. Three of us took a girl and went into separate rooms. After around 20 minutes I was done and went outside to see my friend already waiting for me. We asked about the third friend and the brothel manager said that guy paid extra to extend his time. You pay for each 30 minutes. So we decided to sit down and wait for the other friend to finish. We sat down on the sofa, where there were around 20 to 30 girls sitting and waiting for their clients. We didn't realize that part of the brothel was only for escorts and clients usually sat in the other room. After a few minutes three guys walked in. All looked very high on something. They started check the girls. One of them looks at me and tells the manager I want this one. Manager tried to explain that I was a client, not an escort, but the guy didn't want to understand. There was a full argument about this and the security had to come and took the guys outside. Too long didn't read, I sat on the wrong place and people thought that I was an escort. Sounds like your mistake was not fucking the right person. If you'd have gotten as much as you paid, you'd have had free sex twice. Oof. True. Today I fucked up. Here is you missed a golden opportunity to start a new and lucrative career. It's not gay if it's paid for, right? Right? Question mark. It's not gay if you say no homo beforehand. Sounds like you almost got fucked. You could have made a few bucks while you waited on your friend. The real I'm not gay but $20 is $20. Today I fucked up by taking LSD and going to work. Alright boys and girls, gather round, it's story time. I was reminded of my FU by the mushroom story, so I thought I would serenade you all with my journey through my mind and into work. Obligatory, this wasn't today. Nearly a decade ago now. Gross, I'm old. I was an overworked, poverty-stricken undergraduate. Besides taking a full schedule of classes at the uni and an additional class at the local CC to try and catch up on my newfound major, biology, coincidentally I chose it because of a mushroom trip. I also worked as a food runner for a local comedy club. It was a sweet gig for a student. The club was only open Wednesday to Sunday. Important later, shows were at night as to not interfere with classes, and I saw tons of live comedy and got to party with some big names after the shows were over. Plus it being food service, those sweet tips kept ramen in my stomach and psychedelics in my brain. On to the fuck up. I had a friend G coming into town to visit me and I couldn't wait to show him my newfound affinity for entheogens. G had never taken LSD and I had a glorious day planned for us. It was a Tuesday, I was on spring break, and the sun was shining like a diamond. We were going to dose up, walk around the river, and just trip out. So we do the deed and begin our adventure. That trip had a lot of eventful occurrences, but about 4 to 5 hours in, peak of LSD trips, we had made our way back to my spot, blasting music and feeling quite high. I took a quick shower so we could get ready to go have dinner at my GF's house and cruise through our come down with my favorite people. Before we made the journey we decided to roll a blunt and smoke it. Now I'm fucking blasted. Couple minutes later the cook from my work calls. He's a bud and it's Tuesday, so I pick up. A mock 4-piece, where are you? Boss lady is wondering why you're late. Trying to hold on to this sliver of reality and comprehend time as a thing, I respond, bro, it's Tuesday, WTF are you talking about? Cook reminds me we have a charity event tonight. The club would rent the space out for private comedy shows to groups on Monday and Tuesday every once and a while. This Tuesday is not just any charity show. It's a sheriff's department private event. They would hold events at our club and do raffles and get wasted and probably drive home every so often. Cue panic. Looking back, I should have just said I couldn't do it. I was sick, dead, or fucking anything. Nope. I said I'd be right there. I get off the phone, look at my wide-eyed friend and tell him the deal. He laughs. I stink like cannabis, so I jump back in the shower, throw on my outfit and beg my roommate to drive me to the club. I arrive at the club panicked for being high AF. and for being late. My boss asks why I'm late, words come out and she seems convinced enough, so I run off with my head down. Food at the club entails getting about 50 tables worth of orders before the show starts and then delivering the items when the lights go off. One thing about these sheriff shows is that they love to eat. Often at the club, the shows start after dinner, so most people are just drinking, but these charity shows start earlier and people come to eat. That means I'm way fucking busier than normal. I'm frantically running around taking orders, and at one table in particular I distinctly remember the wife of an officer looking over at her husband and waving her hand in front of her nose indicating she thinks I smell, I presume, like weed. I took 2 showers and my mind is in full panic mode. I managed to get orders and enter them in the system. The show starts and the lights go off. As orders start coming out, I begin to realize I have no idea where any of the food goes. I blew it trying to remain composed and didn't document the tables well. I repeatedly walked out into the dark club with hands full of plates, having no idea where these nachos belong and those chicken wings go. I struggle with shadow patterns, angry patrons, and a fear and loathing looking boss. At the end of the night I am totally exhausted, fried to say the least. Somehow I had managed to collect all the money and even made 100 in tips. I gave half to the cook as I revealed to him where my mind had been all night. He laughed and gave me a dessert. Solid move, Mike. I got a ride home, showered for the 3rd time, grabbed G, and we ended up at my GF's where I promptly closed my eyes to enjoy the last of my visuals. Fuck that night. TLDR, took acid, fed a room full of pigs, made money. Edit, thanks for the awards y'all. Heart. Well, did you at least wear cleats so you wouldn't slip on all the blood? My blood is too thick for Nevada. Jesus, I got anxiety just reading that, smiley face. Dude, I would have broken down crying, lol. Kudos to you for making it through that, a room full of cops while tripping and possibly smelling like pot. Oh my god. Adventures are not always fun while they're happening, but they always make good stories. Definitely an interesting story. Still gives me mild anxiety thinking about it. I was right in the middle of a fucking reptile zoo, and somebody was giving boost to these goddamn things. Won't be long now before they tear us to shreds. Today I fucked up eating a kolache at a red light and nearly died. This morning, I was craving an iced latte from a certain donut place, so I got my husband's drink order and went on my way. When I got there, I suddenly realized how hungry I was and did not want anything sweet, so I added a kolache to the order. As soon as I got my order and pulled out of the drive-thru, I realize I am a huge asshole and did not even ask my husband if he wanted food. Couldn't rub my kolache in his face. I had to destroy the evidence. I decided had to eat the kolache before I got home. Now, there is only a couple of miles between the donut place and my house and I was running out of time. I get the mustard open, get a few bites down, and suddenly I'm at the last light before I turn on my street, so I just go for this massive bite. I don't know why. The light had just turned red. I had plenty of time, but in my gluttonous shame I shoved the rest of the kolache in my mouth and it fucking lodged in my throat. I don't mean just a little bit. Zero air was getting to my lungs. I started freaking out. I have never seriously choked before. I am hitting my chest and my arms are flailing and I am hoping the light will stay red because I'm in the front of my lane and there is no way I can drive in that moment. The door of the car across the very busy intersection opened and I can see the driver looking at me like they are trying to figure out how to get across. In that moment I regained control of my arms and was able to shove my hand in my throat, which dislodged the kolache and made me puke all over my passenger seat. The light turned green, the other passenger got back in their car and I got my breath back just in time and made it home. I'm still too embarrassed to tell my husband. I'm not sure I will. I just can't get over what a stupid way to die that would have been. And I still have to go clean out the passenger seat. Too long didn't read, don't eat and drive. Damn. Good that you dislodged it. Be quick to clean up your sick, it will definitely not get easier with time. That's just too bad. Wow, that's too bad. Definitely not my proudest moment. Police to your husband: sir, we believe your wife choked on a kolache while sitting at a red light. Husband: hold on, you mean she got herself food, by not me? Exclamation mark. Police: it appears that way. How are you feeling? Husband: great. You know, I never did trust her. She always smelled of kolache. Can I get my coffee now, or did she drink that too? Exclamation mark. The real question here is, WTF is a kolache? Texas. This screams Texas. Iced latte in winter, kolaches from a donut place, driver on other side of intersection jumps out in preparation to run on foot to help. Texas.